कनाडा में अब किसी की भी पीआर होगी?
देखो, कनाडा पीआर देने के लिए बैठा हुआ है। कनाडा को इमिग्रेंट्स चाहिए, बट एट द सेम टाइम उनको अपने टर्म्स पे चाहिए। जब कोई भी स्टूडेंट अपनी जर्नी स्टार्ट करता है, उस टाइम पे वो सबसे पहले देखता है ओके मुझे सबसे इजी कॉलेज चाहिए और जहाँ पे पढ़ाई में इजी करके बस अपने वर्क परमिट तक पहुँच जाऊँ। सो द विजन एंड इंटेंट एट द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज वेरी रॉन्ग.
From legal roots to shaping Canadian dreams, Shiv Pasricha stands at the forefront of immigration advocacy, a trusted voice in policy, pathways, and progress. He empowers global talent with clarity, credibility, and conviction.
मार्क कार्नी के इलेक्शन टाइम के कैंपेन की सबसे बड़ी लाइन थी,
We will return our immigration to sustainable levels by capping the total number of temporary workers and international students at less than 5% of Canada's population.
सारे जो है वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड को उठा के देख लो, इन सब में एंटी इमिग्रेंट वेव है. Canada is actually leading in terms of anti-immigrant sentiment. We can't forget it that we are in somebody's home. This was never our house. They welcomed us with very open arms, and we actually created a mess that led them to have hatred against us.
क्या चेंजेस आ चुके हैं इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर?
जितने टेम्पररी रेजिडेंट्स हैं इस कंट्री में, Canada does not really have the capacity to absorb everybody. So it's a mismanagement of the whole immigration system which led to this crisis.
Comparison between international students and the domestic student fees. Why that difference? एक genuine student है, goal is study. आप उसको कौन सी कंट्री रेकमेंड करोगे? क्या कनाडा आने का सपना कभी साकार भी होगा कि नहीं? या फिर अगर आप कनाडा में ऑलरेडी हैं तो आपको पीआर मिलेगी भी कि नहीं? सीआरएस का स्कोर 520 से ऊपर जा चुका है जो अनअचीवेबल है. आईआरसीसी के अंदर बैकलॉग 8 लाख से ज़्यादा एप्लीकेशंस का पहुंच चुका है और वो दिन ब दिन बढ़ता जा रहा है. शायद स्टाफिंग का इशू है या फिर फाइल्स की कैपेबिलिटी का इशू है. आज का जो हमारा पॉडकास्ट है वो शिव के साथ है. इन्होंने हज़ारों इमिग्रेशन फाइल्स को प्रोसेस किया है. आज के पॉडकास्ट में हम डिस्कस करेंगे वो सब सच जो आपको पता होने चाहिए अगर आप कनाडा में पीआर की तैयारी कर रहे हैं. कुछ ऐसे सच जो शायद फ्रॉड से बचाएंगे आपको. सो अगर आपकी जर्नी कनाडा के अंदर पीआर लेने की अब शुरू हो रही है तो इस पॉडकास्ट को एंड तक ज़रूर सुनिएगा. वेलकम शिव. Thank you for coming and joining us on this podcast, joining us on Maple and Masala.
Thank you so much.
आपकी कंपनी एस्पायर इमिग्रेशन को मोर देन डेकेड हो चुका है इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर. ऐसा क्या था जिसने आपको कीप गोइंग रखा है इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर? क्या था आपका सपना जिससे आप शुरू हुए थे और आज क्या है?
So, immigration industry is a very thrillful industry. इस इंडस्ट्री में you get the chance to become the most important part of somebody's life journey. So देखो, when we talk about immigration is something जो कि life का सबसे important step, one of the सबसे important steps जो है वो immigration है. When somebody decides to move to a different country, तो उस टाइम पे उनके लिए सबसे ज़्यादा important होता है एक right guidance, right? And जो बंदा उनको right guidance देता है उस टाइम पे, they become the most important part of the journey. You never forget where you got married, right? Similarly, you never forget कि जब the person who became the part of your journey, this is such an important step of the life जो कि आप you never forget throughout the life. If somebody asks you 20 years down the line that who was that person who helped you to get the PR in this country, you would not forget the name. So that provides you the kick to keep going and going and going.
सो रोज़ ऐसे केसेस कितने आ जाते हैं कि यार सुन के कई बार पैसे को एक साइड पे रख दें, सुन के उनकी मोटिवेशन या फिर कह लें उनकी कहानी सुन के आपको लगा यार ये हमने तो बहुत बढ़िया काम कर दिया यार, दिस वाज समथिंग व्हिच हैव चेंज्ड समवन्स लाइफ. कुछ ऐसा हुआ हो आपके साथ या कोई केस जो आपके पास आया हुआ यू थॉट यार.
So
Thank God.
immigration में you get to see these kind of cases pretty much every now and then. अगर आप लगा के चलो कि this profession can make a lot of impact on people's life, right? And it's on you that what kind of impact you want to make on people's life. आपके पास मौका है to make a very positive impact on people's life, or when you get that chance, you should not back out. Now when it comes to us getting that chances, ये डेली ऐसा केस नहीं होता कि हाँ भी आज ये केस सॉल्व हुआ है. इट्स अ वेरी टाइम टेकिंग प्रोसेस. इट्स अ प्रोसेस ऑफ पेशेंस. सो we get our fair bit of cases जिस पे we try to pat our backs, and that is that's a very fulfilling kind of feeling.
अगर आपकी जर्नी भी देखें तो आप इंडिया से सबसे पहले ऑस्ट्रेलिया गए, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से कनाडा आए। इस एज अ इमिग्रेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्या ऐसे चैलेंजेस थे उस टाइम पे जो आपने भी देखे, जहाँ लगा यार काश मेरे को एक अच्छा लॉयर, अच्छा इमिग्रेशन एजेंट मिल जाता तो ये प्रॉब्लम्स तो मैं ना फेस करता? या फिर इफ़ वी गो विद यू ऑन योर जर्नी, कैसी थी वो जर्नी? व्हाई यू चोज ऑस्ट्रेलिया फर्स्ट, व्हाई यू केम टू कनाडा देन?
So मेरा रीज़न ऑस्ट्रेलिया चूज़ करने का बड़ा सिंपल एंड स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड था। मैं आई एम द ओनली चाइल्ड, और मैं आई ग्रू अप विद माय सिबलिंग, जो कि ही इज़ नॉट माय बायोलॉजिकल सिबलिंग, पर मेरे ताई, माय आंटीज सन एंड डॉटर, राइट? So I consider them as my biological siblings. And that one person, his name is Yatin. So he lives in Australia. And a lot of my family, from my maternal side, मेरे mother की तरफ से, they were in Canada. There was always a debate कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाऊँ या फिर कनाडा जाऊँ. And मेरा उस टाइम पे जो decision taking process था, that was based on just a simple factor, which is, I'm close to my brother, and for that reason I'll go to Australia. मैंने भी बाकी की तरह बहुत सारी रिसर्च नहीं की थी, मैंने भी बाकी की तरह जो है वो बहुत सारी डिगिंग नहीं की थी कि इसमें क्या प्रोज एंड कॉन्स हैं, वहाँ पे क्या स्ट्रगल होने वाली है. इट वाज जस्ट वन सिंपल थॉट कि आई वांट टू बी विद हिम एंड आई जस्ट गो टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया फॉर दैट रीजन.
ये मुझे लगता है आज की डेट में हर घर का सवाल, शायद ऑस्ट्रेलिया या कनाडा. यूएस आई गेस थर्ड ऑप्शन है इफ आई एम नॉट सो रॉन्ग, माइट भी कुछ स्टेट्स में फर्स्ट ऑप्शन हो इंडिया में, बट मतलब फिर भी क्या पैरामीटर्स थे जिसके ऊपर आपने डिसीजन लिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाने का?
सो ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाने का मेन एक जो रीज़न मैंने आपको बता दिया वो था, बट उसके अलावा जो मेरी प्रेफरेंसेस थी दैट वाज वेदर, राइट? सो वहाँ का जो वेदर है, वहाँ की जो लाइफस्टाइल है, जब मैंने थोड़े बहुत कंपैरिजन्स किए, बिकॉज आई हैड अ बिट ऑफ एन इनसाइट फ्रॉम बोथ द कंट्रीज, क्योंकि मेरे रिलेटिव्स यहाँ पे भी थे और वहाँ पे भी थे. तो द फीड यू गेट फ्रॉम देम, on that basis, subconsciously it was in the back of my mind ki that weather suits me the most, that lifestyle suits me the most, and I can see myself living in that country, over this one.
क्योंकि लोगों से ज़्यादा सुन लिया था ऑस्ट्रेलिया.
You can say that, but that was the main thing, the reason I just took that decision. But I was very impressed with the lifestyle from Australia.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया, कनाडा बेटर है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया? आप तो दोनों जगह रहे. लाइफस्टाइल पॉइंट ऑफ
Lifestyle point of view just depends on your preferences. I'm more of an outdoorsy person.
Huh.
I like to stay outdoor for very long hours. So in that regards, if you compare Australia and Canada, Canada never can never win.
Yeah.
You're indoors for at least 8 months a year. But when it comes to Australia, you're outdoor pretty much throughout the year. So it makes a huge difference, in terms of lifestyle.
Yeah.
So if I if I have to choose a country just for the sake of lifestyle, I'll rather go for
ऑस्ट्रेलिया. हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स में भी आई गेस ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज मोर हैप्पियर देन कनाडा.
Yeah, exactly.
From
All of the lifestyle, right? Yeah, people are happy, then good lifestyle leads to happiness.
कब ये डिसाइड किया कि अब ऑस्ट्रेलिया नहीं अब कनाडा आना? क्योंकि लाइफस्टाइल में तो यू आर डूइंग गुड, यू हैड एवरीथिंग देयर. फिर ये कब डिसाइड किया कि कनाडा जाना है?
So कनाडा का डिसीजन जो है वो कुछ पर्सनल सर्कमस्टांसेस इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय
पीयर प्रेशर.
peer pressure. The peer is my wife.
ओके.
So that is what led to this significant move,
ओके.
right? So there was no choice but to try it. Yeah, so we tried it.
हैप्पी वाइफ इज हैप्पी लाइफ.
Yeah, exactly, that's the thing.
ओके. कनाडा के कब डिसाइड किया कि यार इमिग्रेशन के काम में आना? बिकॉज आई गेस यू नेवर डिड एनी इमिग्रेशन बिजनेस इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया मच, बट यहाँ आके यू ओपनड एस्पायर इमिग्रेशन इन 2012 इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग. ये कब डिसाइड हो गया कि यार इमिग्रेशन का काम करना है? क्योंकि यू डिड योर माइग्रेशन, यू केम एज इमिग्रेंट टू कनाडा.
Correct.
ये कब डिसाइड हो गया कि यार इस बिजनेस में आना है?
So I'd say immigration जो है ना, this is something that just kind of runs through my bloodstream, right? from the beginning, when I actually, the moment I applied for my study permit, for my student visa from Australia,
खुद अप्लाई किया?
I did not. But when I started the process, you know, I would, rate myself as 7 out of 10 or actually 8 out of 10. I did a lot of research, right? अगर मैं अब लोगों को देखता हूँ, when somebody comes and asks कि मुझे स्टडी परमिट अप्लाई करना है कनाडा का, और मैं उनको पूछता हूँ कुछ रिसर्च की है, द रिसर्च लेवल इज अच्छे 3 और 4, बिकॉज उन्होंने सिर्फ फ्रेंड से सुना है एंड दे जस्ट कम राइट टू द कंसल्टेंट एंड दे जस्ट अप्लाई फॉर अ वीज़ा. बट जब मैंने इस स्टेप के बारे में सोचा था, तो उस टाइम पे I did a lot and lot of research. I just could literally count all the universities, on the fingertips कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में क्या क्या यूनिवर्सिटीज़ के ऑप्शंस हैं, कौन से कोर्सेज हैं. इतने ज़्यादा उसको रिहर्स कर लिया था कि I just knew I was living in Australia while I was trying to apply for a study permit. Like psychologically I was in Australia at that time. So that is something I realized कि भी मुझे I have a very deep interest in this field.
Okay.
तब एक consultant थे, because I'm from Jalandhar, so this consultant, the company's name was Shenik.
Shenik. Okay.
So I took their help, right? And because I did a lot of research on my part too, I was kind of leading the process. So from there onwards, when I actually successfully landed into Australia, so it took me very short, span of time to reach that level, reach that milestone of permanent residency. I processed my own application. I helped a lot of my friends to process their applications too. So जो कीड़ा था वो स्टार्टिंग से था कि इस चीज़ को समझना है, it kind of intrigues a lot of interest in me. I want to understand it. I want to learn more and more and more and keep going.
ठीक है.
बट उस टाइम पे इसको एज अ प्रोफेशन कभी सोचा नहीं था.
आपने वहाँ पे सिटीजनशिप ले ली थी?
हाँ जी. सो मैंने यहाँ पे सिटीजनशिप ली थी. सो आई डिड द होल प्रोसेस बाय माई सेल्फ.
सिर्फ स्टडी परमिट किसी और से लगा था?
दैट्स इट. उसके अलावा सारा कुछ मैंने खुद किया है. और आई हैव हेल्प्ड अ लॉट ऑफ फ्रेंड्स टू, बट नॉट फॉर द मॉनेटरी एक्सचेंज, बट जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ हेल्पिंग देम, राइट? सो that gave me a bit of a confidence that this is something that I can pursue throughout my life and without waiting for a hefty reward for it. So जब कहते हैं ना कि something you have to find out something that gives you the kick. Yeah, this is something that actually gives me the kick, and that's the reason I actually do it. So when I started this journey, also we were in Australia. तो वहाँ से जब Canada move हुआ because of my family, right? And उस time पे I was not into a profession at all. I used to do, I've done a few businesses, I've failed in a few, I've succeeded in a few. So the success and failure, they just, came hand in hand for me. Yeah. But nothing where I could just find my passion. So when I came to Canada, I was struggling to find a profession. I was struggling to find, there's a huge shift of lifestyle, when you come from Australia to Canada, because there's a lot of difference in pay rate, right? There's a lot of difference in people behavior, right? There's a lot of difference in the professionalism. So that is a setback that somebody kind of, gets when they come from Australia. And I was one of them too. I was struggling mentally for, I'd say a very long time.
कि कहाँ आ गया?
Exactly. कि मैं कहाँ आ गया, and cribbing about my life. Should I just stay here? Should I go back? I have everything back in Australia. Why did I actually why did I actually even make a decision to move to Canada? So, at that point of time, I was not talking but cribbing to my mom. Ki, I'm done with this place. I don't know what to do. Right. And she said that pursue something that you have ever found in your lifespan. Whatever you have found interesting, just pursue that. And मैंने सोचा ये तो बड़ा vague सा, मतलब आपने मुझे दे दिया अपना suggestion. What should I pursue? And then I just started to recollect myself. Okay, what did I enjoy the most? What was the thing that I just enjoyed the most? Even helping people for free.
Yeah.
And the answer came through very quickly. And the answer was immigration. So, that is when I started to research about it.
Yeah.
And that research led to the diploma, then the entry to practice examination, and then this career.
ठीक है. उस पूरे चैप्टर के दौरान जब इमिग्रेशन में आ रहे थे, मतलब वैसे तो आई कनेक्ट विद यू ऑन योर सेइंग दैट कि कुछ ऐसा करो जो विच गिव्स यू किक। बड़ी फेमस सेइंग है, यू डोंट वर्क फ्रॉम द टाइम व्हेन यू स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन समथिंग यू लव, देन इट्स लाइफस्टाइल। सो आई 100% एग्री। बट वाइल दैट जर्नी इनसाइड, जो आपने बोला भी कि कनाडा में आके लगा कि यार मैं कहाँ आ गया। कईयों का तो ये कहना है कि इट इज़ बिहाइंड फ्रॉम पंजाब इन इंडिया, सरी स्पेशली या ब्रैम्पटन पीछे चल रहा है शायद। पंजाब थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा स्पीड पे आगे बढ़ रहा है। ये चैलेंजेस आपके साथ आए कभी? ये फीलिंग नहीं कि इमिग्रेशन तो मैं ऑस्ट्रेलिया में बैठ के भी कर सकता हूँ, यहीं क्यों? फैमिली ओके।
कई बार ऐसा होता है कि देखो, जब आपने एक मूव ले लिया ना,
हाँ
राइट, तो उसको ट्राई करना बनता है मेरे हिसाब से।
हाँ।
हम जब किसी भी कंट्री में या किसी भी नए शहर में भी जाते हैं,
हाँ
मैंने जो अपने एक पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस से सीखा, यू हैव टू गो विद एन ओपन माइंड, राइट। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम हैविंग एन ओपन माइंड, you also have to make sure कि you give that place at least 10 to 12 months,
Yeah.
right, before you start to comment or crib about it.
Yeah.
You will keep on cribbing about the place. You would definitely complain about it, but the real results, or maybe the real analysis, should only come after 10 to 12 months, not before that time, because you have not really seen it all. You may have seen, a bad part of it, but you have definitely not seen maybe the good part of it, right? So just wait, because God requires you to have patience.
Yeah.
Right. And if you give him patience, he gives you everything.
जब इमिग्रेशन में आ रहे थे कभी ये नहीं सोचा, इमिग्रेशन एजेंट जो है इंडिया में एजेंट कहा जाता है उसको, इज अ बिग पर्सपेक्टिव दैट इट इज़ जस्ट अ मनी मेकिंग बिजनेस, पैसा बना रहे हो। और जब किसी को शायद आप बताते भी होगे फॉर द वेरी फर्स्ट टाइम व्हाट यू डू, एंड द मोमेंट यू से आई एम एन इमिग्रेशन एजेंट, पर्सपेक्टिव खड़ा हो जाता है, शायद ये पैसे बना रहा है। एब्सोल्युटली ठग, इफ
100%.
गो फॉर इट।
Yes.
उस पर्सपेक्टिव से नेवर थॉट कि यार जाऊं कि ना जाऊं, और हाउ डिड यू एवर टैकल योरसेल्फ? कभी किसी ने कन्फ्रंटली कभी कुछ ऐसा बोला व्हिच यू लाइक नो 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 आई नीड टू गिव आंसर?
Absolutely. You get to, in every profession you go, you get to hear, there's always a pullback.
Yeah.
And people love to pull back. जब हम बचपन में हमने दो टर्म सुनी थी, दो वर्ड सुने थे. One is a hairdresser, a very well-respected profession, and one is a nai, right? So somebody would not really want to become a nai,
But what
but they would definitely want to become a celebrity hairdresser.
Yeah.
It just it depends on you what you want to become. So you can make the best out of that profession, or you can make the worst out of that profession. Your practice defines your profession.
बड़ी बाकमाल मतलब एग्जांपल दी है, वांट टू बिकम अ नाई और वांट टू बिकम अ हेयर ड्रेसर।
Up to you.
एक्चुअली यस। क्या, लेट्स गो टू द मेन टॉपिक, द एलिफेंट इन द रूम। कनाडा में अब किसी की भी पीआर होगी, होगी तो कैसे होगी? सपना बन के रह जाएगा, और कितने लोगों को सच में उसकी उनकी फाइल देख के ये सच अब डाइजेस्ट कर लेना चाहिए कि यार मेरी नहीं हो सकती, फाइंड अदर वेज।
देखो, कनाडा पीआर देने के लिए बैठा हुआ है. कनाडा को इमिग्रेंट्स चाहिए, राइट, बट एट द सेम टाइम उनको अपने टर्म्स पे चाहिए, राइट. सो अगर आप imagine yourself, you're renting a house to somebody, right, and you maybe want to get them on board as a co-owner of the house. What kind of vetting would you do to them?
हमें जेन्युइनली पैसे दो।
Quite a lot, right?
हाँ.
So basically, when you get somebody as a tenant to your house, in your house, उस time पे you make sure they have good background.
Right.
There's no bad history to it, right? They're gonna pay the bills on time, and there will not be any conflicts, right? So pick up the points out of it. Conflicts is criminality. Background is your background check, right? You want to see what kind of character they have. That is their education behind them, their qualifications behind them, their experience behind them, work experience, right? So anybody who has all these traits in them, Canada is willing to give you PR. It's just that you have to put efforts in it. If you just want to get it for free, or no, if you want to get it very easy, it's never going to happen, because the world is competitive, right? It doesn't matter where you go. It will always remain competitive. You have to run the race, or you have to stop dreaming that you will ever get there.
नहीं, बट इसके अंदर आपने बोला कि कनाडा इज सिटिंग विद ओपन डोर्स, यू जस्ट सेड कि पीआर देना है क्योंकि उनको इमिग्रेंट्स की ज़रूरत है। जो रीसेंट स्टैट्स हैं वो कुछ और बोलते हैं। फ्रॉम 5 लाख टू 395 दे चेंज द टारगेट फॉर 2026 विच इज़ डिक्रीज्ड। 2027 के लिए उससे भी कम 3,65,000 कि हमें इतने परमानेंट रेजिडेंट चाहिए। मार्क कार्नी के इलेक्शन टाइम के कैंपेन की सबसे बड़ी लाइन थी, आई विल मेक पीपल जो टेम्पररी रेजिडेंट है देयर पॉपुलेशन शुड बी 1% ऑफ कैनेडाज होल पॉपुलेशन। तो ये सब तो नहीं लगता कि ये डोर्स वाइड ओपन के लिए हैं। सेकेंडली, यहाँ हम उनकी बात कर रहे हैं जो +2 करके यहाँ पे बच्चा आ गया, उसको पीआर मिल पाएगी क्योंकि उसका तो सीआरएस स्कूल राइट नाउ एवरेज इज 520 which used to be 460 back in 2022, right? और एक +2 के बाद वाले बच्चे के अगर मैं 3 साल का एक्सपीरियंस भी डाल लूँ तो आई थिंक मैक्सिमम विल रीच इज 480 490। हाउ विल दैट पर्सन एक्चुअली गेट पीआर, राइट?
सो इसको ना लेट्स जस्ट ब्रेक इट डाउन इन स्टेप्स, राइट? आपने बोला कि जो इसका 2026 का जो कोटा है दैट इज 395,
Yeah.
right? It'll drop down to 390 by 2027, right? And it'll remain as is for 2028. That's what they're projecting.
Yep.
So 395, we don't see it as a 395. It was never 395 quota, right? So it may go against what I just said, but out of 395, there's only 240,000 people जो कि economic immigration में आएंगे. Oh, in addition to that, you have 60,000, almost 60,000 coming through family class, which is spousal sponsorships hogi,
100% yes.
parents and grandparents hoge, right? And they have allocated about 49 to 50,000 just for the refugees. Okay, right? Ab is sare fundamentals mein they have pledged that they want at least 1%, actually 9% of the total economic migration, or actually the overall quota towards French speakers. सो इट मीन्स कि जो कंपेटिटिवनेस है वो और बढ़ चुकी है, वो कम नहीं हुई है, राइट? मैंने बोला था कि पीआर देने के लिए कनाडा रेडी है, बट वो किसको? आफ्टर द वेटिंग हु हैज़ द बेस्ट ऑफ द बेस्ट क्रेडेंशियल्स,
ओके,
नॉट टू समबडी जो कि डज नॉट रियली वांट टू वर्क ऑन देयर क्रेडेंशियल्स, ऑन देयर स्किल्स और ऑन देयर एजुकेशन, राइट? अब जो नेक्स्ट आपका जो क्वेश्चन है वो ये है कि नेक्स्ट ईयर दे विल बी रिड्यूसिंग डाउन टू 390,000, 65, which I doubt it's 365, but I think it's a bit
given
that
390, so yeah, it is
लगा लो, exactly, right? तो ये जो नंबर है ये एक ह्यूज रिडक्शन नहीं है, it's a very insignificant drop, because अगर आप पहले के नंबर उठा के देखते भी हो 5 लाख थे, that was crazy, unsustainable kind of numbers. So look at it as an immigrant. So you only value the country if the country remains like that, whatever you actually envision it as.
okay.
Right? So if you want to come to this as an immigrant, and that 500,000 jo kai number hai, right? If it's going to ruin the whole situation in Canada, you may as well just don't want to be a part of it, right? So I would say reducing it down to 395 and then even further is a good step. But whatever the Canadian Immigration RCC has done in the past, right, it may not have been the best step.
Yeah.
Whatever they took.
Yeah.
The invited way, they kind of chew, they kind of bit more than what they could chew.
Yeah.
That is what happened. So that's the main problem. The problem of reducing the quota to 395 is not exactly the problem itself.
But अगर हम पीछे चले जाएं 2022 के अंदर, I guess they invited or they gave permanent residency to more than 700,000 people.
Correct.
They introduced TR to PR, they introduced many other things. वहाँ पर तो क्वालिफिकेशन स्टैंडर्ड्स भी इतने लो कर दिए थे। पहली कंट्री है शायद दुनिया में जिसने अपने खुद के क्वालिफिकेशन स्टैंडर्ड्स को कम किया था। आइल्स में अगर पहले 6 बैंड पर आपका वीज़ा लगता तो 5.5 पे एक्सेप्टेंस आ गई थी।
यस,
पहली बार था कि अगर आपने सिर्फ किसी भी डिप्लोमा में अगर कंट्री के अंदर पढ़ाई कर ली, कैनेडियन एजुकेशन ले लिए, तो उन्होंने आपको TR to PR में रख लिया था। मतलब आपके कहने के हिसाब से तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाइज कनाडा उस साल 7 लाख लोगों की परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी के लिए रेडी भी नहीं था, जो उन्होंने खुद कर दिया।
करेक्ट,
एंड दैट इज द मेन प्रॉब्लम।
सो देखो, कंसिडर 2022 जो वो था ना, वो इट्स एन अनप्रेसिडेंटेड टाइम, इट्स एन एक्सेप्शनल टाइम फ्रेम जहाँ पे कि अपने पूरे लाइफ स्पैन में, राइट, अगर आप यहाँ के मिनिस्टर्स वो भी ह्यूमन बींग्स हैं, राइट?
हाँ।
उनके पूरे लाइफ स्पैन में चेक कर लो, किसी के भी लाइफ स्पैन में उन्होंने किसी बंदे ने पैंडेमिक आज तक फेस नहीं किया, एंड nobody knew how to react to that pandemic, right? So in reaction to that, governments, made a few good decisions, a few bad decisions. TR to PR जो था वो, it was kind of a generous decision कि these guys stood by us, during the bad times. Let's just stand by them.
Yeah.
So it was not really a calculated business decision. It was actually just a generosity, humanly kind of decision making. That okay, these guys were there. Let's just support them this time.
आपके अकॉर्डिंग वो पीआर टू पीआर का डिसीजन वाज मोर अबाउट ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड डिसीजन, बट कमिंग बैक टू द सेम थिंग, स्टिल गवर्नमेंट को तो पता था उनका इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वीक है, वो रेडी नहीं है. सरी में आई गेस इज राइट नाउ टू सिर्फ एक हॉस्पिटल है.
Mm-hmm.
वर दे इवन रेडी टू हैव दैट मच पॉपुलेशन? एंड दैट इज व्हाई माइट बी दे आर कटिंग देयर रूट्स राइट नाउ.
Exactly. So, healthcare is something जो कि they're trying to play a catch-up game with, right? So, they did not really anticipate कि it'll be a huge burden on the infrastructure of healthcare. जिसमें कि कनाडा की खुद की पॉलिसीज जो है वो भी कुछ काफ़ी ज़्यादा जो है वो कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटरी फैक्टर्स प्ले करती हैं उसमें. Otherwise, they were never ready for bearing that kind of burden on the healthcare system. And I guess that's a reason right now they're targeting a lot of healthcare workers,
Yeah.
and that's how they're trying to catch up to that.
काफ़ी हद तक कनाडा के कटिंग डाउन देयर ओन रूट्स के अंदर डिसीजन जो है वो हेल्थ केयर और मैं कहूँगा पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर का भी है आपके हिसाब से.
So देखो, बेसिकली अगर आप सारे जो है वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड को उठा के देख लो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, न्यूजीलैंड, यूके, कनाडा, राइट, यूएस, इन सब में एक ना एंटी इमिग्रेंट वेव है
इस टाइम.
right, exactly, and social media plays a huge role in that.
Yeah.
Social media has fueled up to a level जहाँ पे कि people are actually raised about having so many immigrants because they have to rub shoulders against with all those people. Now when we talk about actual problem, right, वो Canada में ज़्यादा persistent है. Canada is actually leading in terms of that sentiment, anti-immigrant sentiment, and कहीं ना कहीं I strongly believe कि उसकी वजह हम खुद हैं. हम खुद ही अपने जो community जो है उसको we can't really uplift them. We are the ones who actually just do every effort to bring them down. अगर हम अपने आप को एक अच्छे तरीके से प्रेजेंटेबल तरीके से कैरी करें तो आई डोंट थिंक दैट they would have a lot of issues with our community because our community actually does a lot of good things. Only a few bad apples can't really represent the whole community.
Yeah.
Right?
But we are seen by them.
Exactly, yes. But if you talk about other community members, so why don't they have trouble or any issues with Filipino community? Why don't they have issues with any other community which is not our skin color? There's a reason that how we present ourselves, right? आप डेली सोशल मीडिया पे जो है वो वीडियोस देखते हो कि कभी कुछ हो रहा है, कभी कुछ हो रहा है, किसी बंदे ने जो है वो हम चाहे अगर कि एक्सटॉर्शन से लेके, if you talk about shoplifting, right, if you talk about the public nuisance, if you talk about not respecting the laws, we are the winners in everything.
Yeah.
Right. So why can't we be the winners in the other aspects?
Yeah.
जो कि eventually आपको PR दिला सकती है शायद.
हाँ, मतलब पॉलिटिकल प्रेशर शायद हमारी अपनी गलतियों के कारण है.
Absolutely.
100% है. उसके पीछे शायद कुछ लोग डिफेंड करेंगे कि एक पंजाबी को गलत बोलता है, बट माय आंसर इज, कभी सुना है कि फिलिपिनो कम्युनिटी वालों ने दिवाली के ऊपर एक प्लाजे के अंदर जाके पटाखे चलाने शुरू कर दिए विदाउट परमिशन और एक दूसरे की ओर पटाखे चलाए और नारे लगाए फॉर
Exactly.
से खालिस्तान वर्सेस इंडिया टाइप? कभी सुना? मैंने तो नहीं सुना फ्रॉम पास्ट.
देखो एब्सोल्युटली, मतलब आप एक चीज इमेजिन कर लो कि बहुत लोगों को ये चीज बुरी लगेगी, बट इन अ वेरी रिस्पेक्टफुल वे, we are Punjabis, very proud Punjabis, and when we have a same kind of persistent problem in Punjab too, we have a lot of interstate migration.
Yeah.
In Punjab.
Yeah.
And I guess everything begins from home. Right? That includes racism too.
Yeah.
Racism. How do we address people that are actually not from our states? We know this for a fact, right? When we address them like this, why can't Gora people address us like they see?
100%.
Exactly. So, हमारा जो behavior है ना इस टाइम पे वो इतना ही ज़्यादा offensive है, इतना ज़्यादा लोगों को जो है वो offend करता है कि they can't just stop but to hate us. Yeah, that's the reason. So all that stuff accumulates and it just puts a lot of pressure on politicians. And politicians, have to, they know the data. They have everything on their hands. We think as a, when, Surrey or maybe Brampton, there's a huge community of Punjabi people, maybe Indian people. But we see Canada as just Surrey or Brampton. There's more to it. And politicians have that data. They know that कौन सी जो nationality है या फिर जो कौन से बंदे हैं जो कि apart from these demographics जो कहाँ पे exist करते हैं, they also have to cater those societies. They also have to cater those people. And coming under those pressures, we can't forget it that we are in somebody's home. This was never our house. We came to somebody's home, right? They welcomed us with very open arms. And we actually created a mess that led them to have hatred against us.
110% agreed. Okay, let's move on to another topic because this is I'll say हम शायद 10 घंटे इस टॉपिक के ऊपर डिबेट कर लें. This will never end, but we have to put a full stop here because yes, 100% admitted that एक कॉमन सेइंग है पंजाबी में, आग लगदी है तो धुआं उठदा है. So we have created our own smoke, but eventually we Punjabis are overachievers too. We Indians are overachievers too. So it is in our hands what we really want to portray of us.
Absolutely. The youth has everything that actually this country needs.
Yeah.
It's just that we have to be handy and useful to them.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is when we'll become permanent residents.
100% yes. Yeah. Talking about the new bill, which is in the Senate right now and being approved in the House of Commons. It is first time in the history of Canada that कोई ऐसा बिल आ रहा है जिसके अंदर member parliaments या ministers के हाथ में एक ऐसी power है that they can refuse या फिर वो एक पूरी stream को बंद कर सकते हैं. That is Bill C-12. उसके अंदर there is a paragraph 7 section A and B, I guess. उसके अंदर they are getting two powers for the public interest. पहली बात, पूरे बिल के अंदर public interest की कोई definition नहीं है. दूसरा, for the public interest वो किसी भी extreme को बंद कर सकते हैं. और उसके अंदर issued already जो issued work permits, study permits या other permits हैं उनको cancel कर सकते हैं. Isn't this more of political pressure kind of thing? और अगर MPs के हाथ में ये पावर आएगी या मिनिस्टर्स के हाथ में ये पावर आएगी तो देयर इज 100% चांस कि नेक्स्ट इलेक्शन जीतने से पहले मार्क कार्नी 5 से 10 स्ट्रीम्स बंद करेगा ताकि कैनेडियंस को और सिटीजंस को खुश किया जा सके एंड इन द इलेक्शन.
देखो, इसका एक जो सही आंसर बनता है ना वो ये है कि कनाडा की सबसे बड़ी जो वीकनेस आज तक रही है वो ये है कि ये ना वर्ड नहीं जानते इक्विलिब्रियम, राइट? Maintaining the balance does not exist in their dictionary. That's a problem with them. So when they do things, they do it either on, they actually land on either this side of the spectrum or the far end of the spectrum. They never actually land in the middle of the spectrum, which is, maintaining the balance.
Yeah.
So जब visas देने थे,
दबा
के visas दिए हैं और किसी गिनती में visas नहीं थे, कोई vetting नहीं की. अब जब इनको कट करना है तो इनको समझ नहीं आ रहा कि ओके हाउ टू ब्रिंग द नंबर डाउन, क्योंकि इस टाइम पे जितने टेम्पररी रेजिडेंट्स हैं इस कंट्री में, कनाडा डज नॉट रियली हैव द कैपेसिटी टू एब्जॉर्ब एवरीबडी, राइट? दे ओनली हैव द कैपेसिटी टू एब्जॉर्ब मे बी 10% of them, but not everybody that is actually lined up in the queue. So it's a mismanagement of the whole immigration system which led to the whole thing, right? Which led to this crisis. अब ये जो क्राइसिस है इसको रिजॉल्व करने का तरीका इनके पास बचता क्या है? हाउ टू ब्रिंग द नंबर्स डाउन? टू ब्रिंग द नंबर्स डाउन they need to have superpowers, that the act actually did not give them. So act has to be amended. और एक्ट को अमेंड करने के लिए इनको जो है ये C12 बिल लेके आना पड़ा। अब ये C12 बिल ये कहता है कि if anybody holds any kind of status apart from permanent residence, right, which is, because it says the sub B section says certain visas.
Certain visa.
It does not say all type of visas, which means that, if you're a landed immigrant, you most likely are you're not prone to that kind of, crisis. So anybody who's on a temporary visa
Study.
or who's actually study permit, work permit, or even a visitor visa, they're very prone to this kind of thing happening to them. अब अगर कनाडा की हिस्ट्री उठा के देखते हो आप तो कनाडा ने ये पहली बार ही नहीं किया. They have done it before as well. They did not cancel the applications. They returned the applications respectfully.
अभी
That
Ontario
was
में
back in 2008, right? So people, they applied for that. It used to be 67-point system,
okay.
right? So at that point of time, people lodged their applications, and thousands of people lodged their applications. They did not have the capacity to absorb those people, and they did not have the counter to count that how many applications were actually added back to the system. So when they did not really have the counter on that, they didn't really know कि अब इसको कब पे stop करना है. When they figured out there are far many applications than what they actually could manage, they returned the applications. And it was a conservative government back then, right? So liberals का तरीका कुछ और है. अब now they want the permanent powers. They don't want a backlash. So when immigration minister makes a decision, it actually comes with a lot of backlash.
Okay.
Right? So just to counter the backlash, there's a bill in place now, which is C12.
Yeah.
Now, this bill will give them the power to cancel the visas, right? Which is going to happen, no doubts about that. I'll give an example about it, right? So,
Senate pass करेगा इसको?
अगर इसको पास कर देते जो कि मुझे
Law बनेगा.
anybody who tries to oppose the bill, they have to bear the backlash of the public.
Okay.
So the choice is between, having the public on your side or having temporary residents on your side. So it's a very clear choice. Now, when we talk about the fact that ये किसको affect करेगा या फिर इसको ये पहले कैसे होता था, so ये बहुत ही स्मॉल स्केल पे इम्प्लीमेंटेड थी चीज़ पहले भी. मान लो कोई बंदा जिसके पास विजिटर वीज़ा है, वो यहाँ पे आया back in 2019, they tried to, they made an attempt to get maybe a work permit, right? They could not successfully get it, and they were forcefully sent back to India. Not forcefully, but no, they voluntarily left the country and they were back in India now. So उनकी एक ये जो साइकोलॉजी थी कि ओके हम वापस जाएंगे, साल बाद दोबारा फिर से आ जाएंगे, वर्क परमिट ले लेंगे, ऑल दैट स्टफ, पीपल दे वर घोस्ट एजेंट्स यूज्ड टू एडवाइस देम कि ऐसा कर लो वैसा कर लो. And as soon as they land in India, they used to get email from immigration that we have doubts that you have added fraudulent documents to your application. So please come to the High Commission in New Delhi, right? And there's a clear-cut indication. वहाँ पे सिर्फ दो चीजें होनी होती हैं, right? Actually दो बनी एक चीज होनी है वहाँ पे जाके. You show them the papers, and they're gonna say, okay, we still have an opinion that your application it had some kind of fraudulent information. So on the basis of misrepresentation, we are canceling your visa. You're putting a ban of 5 years to you. Okay. This used to happen on a very small scale to a very small amount of people. And because it's 5 million people now, now it will be used as a superpower to actually, vanish people out of the thin air. राइट. अब इसका सेकंड चीज़ जो है इसके पीछे जो अगर आप उनकी साइकोलॉजी समझो, कनाडा का जो इमिग्रेशन सिस्टम है वो इस टाइम पे बहुत ही फ्लॉड है, बहुत ही लूप होल से भरा हुआ है. फॉर एग्जांपल somebody comes here on a spousal open permit, right? पंजाब में बहुत सारी बुरी चीज़ें हुई हैं, आई गेस पूरे इंडिया में बहुत सारी बुरी चीज़ें हुई हैं, जब पे कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैरिज है, वो सारा कुछ हुआ है और बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ पे आए भी हैं उस बेसिस पे. Somebody comes here and they get divorced. Somebody was given a 3-year work permit on the basis of a spouse. They came to Canada and they got divorced, right? So that person has stopped to meet the eligibility of the visa he was issued. which
Mm.
is a spousal open work permit.
Yeah.
Correct? In that situation, how can somebody actually stay in Canada for the remainder of 2.5 years when they do not really meet the eligibility?
Okay.
Right?
Basic eligibility.
Exactly. So, but right now, जो system ये कहता है कि even if they're divorced, if they're not really with that partner who helped to get them the visa, they can still live in the country for the next 2.5 years, which is a very bad way of, managing things. So, बस इन चीज़ों को handle करने के लिए, they did not really have a methodology. And C12 gives them that ability.
Mm.
Right, it could actually go, if you're a permanent resident or a citizen, you may think that, okay, fine, it's gonna clear the, clear out a lot of things from the country, right? It may go in your favor. But if you're a temporary resident, you should be afraid about the bill. And you should continue to meet the requirements of your visa at all times. Do not, if you don't want to jeopardize your, stay in Canada.
पर इसके अंदर सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम तो सुपर पावर बनने से ही है ना। ओंटारियो के अंदर अभी ओंटारियो गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ वर्क परमिट्स के ऊपर वो परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी की पीएनपी की फाइल्स कैंसिल कर दी, विच द रीजन वाज गिवन कि वी आर नॉट एबल टू चेक हु इज फ्रॉड एंड हु इज नॉट।
करेक्ट।
पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट, सेम पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट की बात आ गई। अगर बिल के अंदर पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट की डेफिनेशन नहीं होगी तो वो तो ऑलमोस्ट वेग हो जाएगी। किसी भी चीज़ को पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट का नाम दिया जा सकता है। गवर्नमेंट का काम है, अगर आपके ऑफिस का काम है किसी की फाइल लॉन्च करना, आप कल को अपने कस्टमर को कह सकते हो कि मैं देख नहीं पा रहा कौन सी फ्रॉड है कौन सा नहीं है, इसलिए मैं सबकी एप्लीकेशन ही नहीं लगाऊंगा। मतलब इट वाज योर ड्यूटी, यू नेम इट पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट एंड यू कैंसल देम।
करेक्ट।
सो कल को इस सुपर पावर से भी तो यही डर है कि कल को किसी भी छोटे रीज़न को उठा के कल को यही बोल दें कि हमने पता किया है कि ये 11,000 टोटल 12,000 एजेंट्स हैं मार्केट के अंदर, 12,000 में से 6,000 फेक एप्लीकेशंस लगाते थे, इसलिए इन्होंने आज तक जितनी एप्लीकेशन लगाई हम कैंसिल कर दें, क्या कर लेंगे?
No, there has to be an investigation for that, right?
They have written that clause too, but the problem is there is no definition.
देखो, when the bill actually becomes the law,
Huh.
right? There will be a protocol for that.
Okay.
So the protocol has to be followed. You can't really just, say that we are of an opinion that this consultant lodged the files with fraudulent documents, and for that reason, we will be canceling the visas issued to all of his clients. You
Okay.
can't do that, right? So it has to actually, be backed up with some kind of evidence. So when these kind of mass cancellations happen, so मेरे हिसाब से अगर ये चीज़ यूज़ होगी तो इस हिसाब से होगी कि जो भी अभी वीज़ाज़ इशू नहीं हुए हैं या फिर जो लॉन्च हो चुके हैं, कोई स्ट्रीम्स है जो नहीं चाहते कि ये चलती रहें, they would actually be cancelling the streams, right?
Hmm.
And they would not really want कि वो streams में और intake हो applicants का,
Okay.
right? But at the same time, they also want this power जिसमें कि वो issued visas को भी cancel कर सके apart from permanent resident visas, right? जिसमें कि अगर applicant जो no longer eligibility meet कर रहे हैं तो फिर they can cancel it, right? So other than that, if they try to use it at a level जहाँ पे कि it's an unreasonable kind of force imposed on people, because they have the capacity or they have the ability to do so, there will actually be definitely consequences, because there's also ये जो कनाडा का जो judicial system है, it is designed to protect people too, right? So it can't really just
Using the third pillar.
exactly, yeah.
Okay. March, May last year in 2025, 50 points or 200 points were removed for LMIA. इसने मार्केट में कितना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट डाला? टू अ लॉट ऑफ एक्सटेंड आपके पास बहुत सारी एप्लीकेशंस ऐसी होंगी जिनका वो 50 पॉइंट रिमूव होने के कारण शायद वो अब तक परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी नहीं ले पाए। उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट था और क्या ये एक्सपेक्टेड है कि कभी वापस आएंगे ये पॉइंट्स? Because these days it's a rumor in the market that there is a chance that the points might come back.
So जो इसका effect है वो it is enormous, right? In terms of people losing the chances to get PR. A lot of people were eyeing on this factor कि हमें 50 points या फिर 200 points मिलेंगे या फिर मिलते रहेंगे, we'll keep on maintaining that score, CRS score, and we may have a chance of getting PR. अब वो सब बंदे जो हैं, they're out of the line now. They're not in the line anymore. We did not have a lot of those applicants. Jinke ki, they lost their 50 points for that reason. They're not really, competitive anymore, right? But overall, in general, market में जो LMIs हैं, just for the sake of 50 points या peer supportive हो या जिसको हम dual intent कहते हैं या फिर just peer supportive LMIs, I would say peer supportive LMI is gone now.
Yeah.
It used to be a huge chunk of the whole temporary foreign worker program जहाँ पे कि लोग सिर्फ peer supportive LMIs ही निकलवाते थे और उससे work permit support नहीं करते थे. That workload is gone from ESTC, right? And there's a lot of filtration. So now जो लोग deserve करते हैं इस चीज़ को, they're getting the chances now. You only get the chance on the basis of your qualification, your work experience, your language skills, not somebody supporting you. If somebody has to support you, it has to be a province or a community, and that is through different programs.
That's beyond
Individual who actually can be influenced with whatever kind of exchange it could be, should not be able to support your permanent residence application.
So future maybe 50 point 200 points. We cannot be expecting them to come back.
I doubted that it would have come back. There's a reason behind it. Whenever government makes a decision, right, and it kind of was made to either please the people or it was made to improve the system. Two out of either way, and the chances are very slim that it'll be taken back. The reason is it'll be a lot of backlash from the people because it was actually a good decision. जो कि होना चाहिए था, it was well due. It should have never been at that place, पर वो था वहाँ पे option. So the chances are very, very low if anybody is actually, hoping कि वो 50 points या 200 points वापस आएंगे. God bless them. I'd say.
Nice. Okay. Coming to LMI के point of view, अगर 50, 20, 200 points अभी नहीं है तो भी CBC का एक आर्टिकल था, उनकी इन्वेस्टिगेशन थी जिसके अंदर दे सॉ 97 एड्स, उन्होंने रैंडमली 97 एड्स LMI के लिए चेक करी थी, which were job postings. They figured out they all 97 were fake. Just for the case of they were not at all in the mood of hiring anyone. वो इसलिए रन करी जा रही थी ताकि कल को LMI निकाली जा सके और उसको बेचा जा सके फ्रॉम द प्राइस वेरीज फ्रॉम $15,000 to $75,000. इस इंडस्ट्री में जहाँ इट इज़ बीइंग सोल्ड आउट, LMI बेची जा रही है और वो 97 में से 25% सिर्फ एक ही शहर ब्रैम्पटन की थी, बाकी की 15% सरी की और बाकी रेस्ट ऑफ कनाडा. ऐसी इंडस्ट्री के अंदर इफ सम एजेंट, आज के डेट में अगर कोई एजेंट किसी को LMI बेच रहा है तो वो खरीदने से पहले उस कस्टमर को या क्लाइंट को या जिसने PR लेनी है क्या चीज़ें ध्यान में रखनी है, दैट इट इज़ अ फ्रॉड, इट्स अ क्लियर कट फ्रॉड. पैसे लेके आप जॉब ले रहे हो. हाउ वुड यू डिफेंड दैट इन द मार्केट एंड हाउ वुड यू प्रोटेक्ट समवन इन दैट?
देखो, the question in itself is actually, for me, it's not sorry to say, it's not a valid question. The reason is कि, किसी को ये बताना कि what kind of things you should keep in mind before you actually just go for that purchase. Basically, you should not really go for it. I'll explain you why. LMIA, it used to be helpful back in days, right? जिसमें कि people used to get, they were able to get permanent residence. Now, the three things that the government has implemented, right? Number one is they have designed the system accordingly where, LMI's influence is minimal on getting permanent residency. It is just there to extend your statuses.
Okay.
If you want to extend your status, maybe if you want to come to Canada as a worker, it can be used. But it cannot really be used as a tool to become a permanent resident of Canada. Second thing जो है वो ये है कि they have taken very strict measures to make sure that जो ये LMIs हैं ये बहुत ही you have a lot of hardship to get them approved. एक टाइम था जिस टाइम पे LMIs was a piece of cake for everybody. They think everybody is an LMI expert. They used to market themselves like this, कि we are LMI expert, we are LMI experts, right? But there was no expertise behind it. The only thing was they were lucky because IRCC was negligent about it. That was their expertise.
पर IRCC हर चीज़ में ऐसे
Absolutely, they have like this.
पहले स्टडी परमिट में इतने ज़्यादा दे दिए,
They have been like,
वर्क परमिट्स में ऐसे दे दिए, वर्क परमिट दे दी पीआर के टाइम पे भी इन्वेस्टिगेट कि वो ये 700 लोग तो पीआर के लिए एलिजिबल नहीं क्योंकि इनकी एलओएज फेक थी स्टडी के टाइम पे।
because they don't have the system in place to, you know, actually check, to curb the fraud. अगर इनके systems होते to curb the fraud, तो इनके systems होते to keep people in check, to keep institutions in check, or to keep employers in check, तो शायद ये चीज़ें बहुत हद तक ये अवॉइड की जा सकती थी, ये बहुत हद तक इसको आप होने से रोक सकते थे, राइट? सो इन्होंने अभी जो इम्प्लीमेंट कर दी है चीज़ की, इट्स वेरी हार्ड टू गेट LMIs, which is a good thing. You have to prove that you genuinely need a worker.
Yep.
Otherwise, it should not really be there. There are other ways to do it. अगर किसी बंदे ने 3 साल में स्टडी परमिट के बाद 3 साल का वर्क परमिट मिलता है,
बिल्कुल सही।
अगर कोई बंदा is not able to make it in 3 years, it means that they have to take a different route. They don't really have to keep on staying in the country and then keep trying their luck. There are ways to get it as long as they're willing to take the bet on it. Right? If somebody does not really have the courage कि हाँ अगर मैं आज चले गया वापस तो भाई मुझे कल आने नहीं देंगे, you don't have the confidence in you, so how do you expect? They need the best of the best people. Actually, every country needs best of the best people, right? They're not really aiming for somebody who loves to be a mediocre, right? They want to build a country on that population, and it's very hard to build a country on a population which just is not sure about themselves, right? So इसलिए LMIAs को कर्ब करने के लिए जो अभी इन्होंने मेजर्स लिए हैं, it is actually in best interest of the public. एक टाइम में ऐसा पहुंच गया था जहाँ पे कि चाहे वो इंडियन कम्युनिटी हो जो कि सिटीजन है यहाँ पे, चाहे वो कोई भी और कम्युनिटी हो, they were against it because their own kids were not able to get the jobs.
Okay.
Right? I personally know a lot of people, a lot of my clients who actually were complaining that my own kid is not able to get a job in summer season. They used to go and then work for at Tim Hortons or maybe McDonald's, right? There was an existing problem, but I'm not really defending that our people, temporary residents or students or workers should not be working there because we know they're hard workers.
Yeah.
बहुत हद तक जो यहाँ के जो यहाँ के born and brought up जो कह लो, right, लोग भी हैं, maybe they're not able to match the standards.
Yeah, 100%.
They're not able to match the standards of the hard work and the efforts that a temporary resident puts into that work, right?
No doubt on
But at the same time, LMIAs was something that should have been stopped long time ago, and that is something that we totally support.
बट मार्केट के अंदर तो ये प्रेजेंट है, बिक भी रही है। इमिग्रेशन मैं कहूँगा कि पास पहुँच चुकी है कि वो पकड़ पा रही है कौन कौन से एजेंट है, क्योंकि रिसेंटली इफ आई रिकॉल एडमिंटन में एक केस हुआ जहाँ IRCC ordered to that immigration agent to refund all the money
Correct.
to that client. So I 100% agree that IRCC सीख जरूर रही है अपने सिस्टम से, but the flaw is always there.
Absolutely. So there's always a flaw in the system. अगर ये बिक भी रही है, right? तो I would like to add one more thing to to it, जो मेरे personal experience से है. आप ना किसी को अगर आज के टाइम पे, राइट, किसी भी चीज़ की अगर सप्लाई है ना, तो इट मीन्स कि उसकी डिमांड है. That's a reason it is out there. Otherwise, अगर कोई लेने वाला नहीं है ना, तो वो बिकेगा नहीं. और लेने वाले कौन है? वो अभी हम ही हैं, राइट? सो अगर अब आज जब कोई भी स्टूडेंट अपनी जर्नी स्टार्ट करता है, उस टाइम पे वो सबसे पहले देखता है, ओके मुझे सबसे इजी कॉलेज चाहिए, सबसे कम फीस चाहिए, ठीक है, और जहाँ पे पढ़ाई में इजी करके बस अपने वर्क परमिट तक पहुँच जाऊँ. That's their vision.
Intent.
Exactly. So the vision and intent at the first step is very wrong. Then उसके बाद अगर आप किसी को ये चीज़ समझाते हो कि LMIA is not an option for you, आप मेरी जितनी मर्जी वीडियो उठा के देख लेना, that's the only thing I say, LMIA is not an option for you. Your option is something else, right? But if I don't give them the LMIA, they'll take it from somebody else, right? This is how it works. I tell them that we don't have it. but at the same time they'll just go to somebody else and they'll get it from them, but they'll come back after 2 years कि भाई मैंने इससे ब्लंडर हो गया, अब इसको रिजॉल्व कैसे करना है, राइट?
ठीक है, मान लेते हैं कि ये डिमांड के कारण सेल हो रही है। डिमांड तो कोकेन की भी है, हर कोई बेचने लग जाएगा। एथिक्स तो एथिक्स ही रहते हैं, दैट वंस यू आर टेकिंग द लाइसेंस फॉर समथिंग, आप लाइसेंस इस टाइम पे बहुत सारी लाइसेंस्ड IRCC हैं जो ये काम कर रहे हैं। एथिक्स के ऊपर जो बात आती है उसका क्या?
देखो मुझे नहीं पता कि देख हमारी इंडस्ट्री में मेरे जो है वो मेरे पीयर्स, मेरे कॉलीग्स जो है वो आई कॉल एवरीबॉडी हु इज इन द सेम इंडस्ट्री एज माय कॉलीग, राइट?
Yeah.
तो कौन कर रहा है कौन नहीं कर रहा, राइट? बट आई टोटली एग्री विद दिस फैक्ट कि you should put ethics first.
Yeah.
And definitely you don't have to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of respect for people जो कि they are very very good people जो हमारी इंडस्ट्री में हैं, जो कि काम कर रहे हैं, जिन्होंने इस चीज़ को कभी टच भी नहीं किया, right? And they're excelling every single day.
Yeah.
They're very busy. They don't really have to rely on this source of revenue, and they have made a huge team out of it.
Yep.
Right? So अगर आपकी intentions हैं एक साफ सुथरा काम करने की, तो there are options. There are multiple options. LMIA is just I'd say it's a gimmick, right? And लोगों को इसको ऐसे पोर्ट्रे किया गया है कि भाई ये सबसे इजी ऑप्शन है आपके लिए, और ये सबसे कन्वीनियंट ऑप्शन है, दिस इज समथिंग जो कि आपको पीआर करा ही देगी। ये सबसे बड़ा मिथ है लोगों का। और अगर ये लोग इतनी इस बात को समझ जाए, हम तो चीख चीख के चिल्ला चिल्ला की चीज़ बोलते हैं हर बारी हर वीडियो में कि मत फंसो, राइट? पर टाइम लगता है लोगों की साइकोलॉजी को चेंज करते हुए। आई एम वेरी श्योर होगी, और आई एम वेरी सपोर्टिव ऑफ दिस डिसीजन ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट कि ये जितनी अगर ये और भी हार्ड हो सके तो इट इज़ वे बेटर फॉर द कंट्री, शुड बी वे बेटर फॉर द सिस्टम इटसेल्फ।
ठीक है, एक कॉमन चीज़ है जो बहुत सारे लॉयर्स से या फिर इमिग्रेशन एजेंट से सुनने को मिलती है, और ये तब सुनने को मिलती है जब रिफ्यूज़ल आ जाती है। आपकी फ़ाइल ठीक थी, लेकिन एक AI टूल है इमिग्रेशन का, IRCC का, विच इज़ नोन एज चिनॉक AI, अगर मैं सही बोल रहा हूँ। चिनॉक। तो उसने रिफ्यूज़ कर दी। ये क्या है AI? थोड़ा ऑडियंस को क्लियर कर दो। और वो एक्चुअल में उसकी रिफ्यूज़ल्स आर एक्यूरेट और नॉट, वो सच में रिफ्यूज़ल्स दे भी रहा है कि नहीं, और उसको बैकअप के लिए हाउ यू प्रिपेयर द फाइल दैट डज नॉट गिव रिफ्यूज़ल।
करेक्ट। सो देखो, शिनूक इज इट्स एन AI मॉडल जो कि गवर्नमेंट ने, IRCC ने इम्प्लीमेंट किया था इन देयर सिस्टम्स, राइट? सो इनके पास बैकलॉग बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया था अपनी एप्लीकेशंस का। उनको दे डिड नॉट रियली नो कि इसको प्रोसेस कैसे करें। अब आपके पास मान लो एक पूरी IRCC के पास एक वर्क फोर्स है 100 पीपल की। देयर 100 वीज़ा प्रोसेसिंग ऑफिसर्स एंड देयर आर अबाउट 10 लाख, मतलब 1 मिलियन एप्लीकेशंस पड़ी हुई हैं। अगर आप इसको डिवाइड करके भी देखते हो, देयर आर वे मेनी एप्लीकेशंस पर वीज़ा प्रोसेसिंग ऑफिसर, एंड दे हैव टू टेक अ डिसीजन ऑन दैट एप्लीकेशन in a matter of just 5 to 6 minutes. Yep. So a file comes to them, they have to quickly go through it, and they have to make a decision within a matter of 3 to 5 minutes कि इसको अप्रूव करना है, रिफ्यूज़ करना है। अब उस मेंटल जो एबिलिटी को बाईपास करने के लिए, या उनको एक इनिशियल फीडबैक देने के लिए कि ये एप्लीकेशन के प्रोज एंड कॉन्स क्या हैं, गवर्नमेंट डिसाइडेड कि लेट्स डिज़ाइन AI सिस्टम जिसका नाम होगा शिनूक।
ओके।
शिनूक जो है वो एप्लीकेशन की प्री वेटिंग करता है सिर्फ, right?
Okay.
So you lodge an application, the system actually looks at it. There are a few red flags, there are a few green flags on that application, और उस basis के ऊपर it actually kind of consider yourself as a visa processing officer. You would see an Excel sheet in front of you with 2 columns, one red, one green, right? And system would actually allocate that application, which has more green flags on it, on that green bar, and the other ones on the red bar. And officer just has to click on approve all or refuse all, That is what they were doing with the applications. They just give you a glimpse of what exactly
kind of an index.
या इसके pros and इसके जो है वो material fact क्या है application के. It just gives you that kind of information, and they can actually just mass refuse or mass approve the applications, and you would be able to see back in 2021 अगर आप if you were active on social media, अगर जिनका दूर दूर तक इमिग्रेशन से कोई लेना देना नहीं है और वो लोग ऐसे छाती ठोक के बोल रहे थे कि हमने इसका वीज़ा लगवा दिया, इसके बंदे के पास फंड्स नहीं थे, इस बंदे के पास क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं थी, 12th ग्रेड नहीं थी, पासपोर्ट पे इमिग्रेशन चेक रिक्वायर्ड लिखा हुआ, तब इसका वीज़ा आ गया, अकाउंट में 1100 रुपये आया, ठीक है, हमारे पास आ जाओ. That was actually AI trying to learn the model, right? और उस टाइम पे जो गलतियां हुई हैं इमिग्रेशन से, right, they actually took the full advantage of it and they made themselves as a superhero to the public कि भी हमारी वजह से वीज़ा आया है. But it was a system learning its capabilities and
AI tool.
exactly. So उसके बाद Chinook is a good model. It just reduces a lot of work. It takes a lot of work off their visa officer's plate. So AI जो है वो it slowly and slowly learns itself. If you're active in AI space, you would know that even ChatGPT says that the more users they have, the better the system becomes. And similarly, every AI model actually acts in that way, right? For that reason, I guess Chinook ने जो है वो in the long run it'll be helpful, right? To clear the backlog, but at the same time, it was IRCC's intent to not really scrutinize the applications along the way.
But ये AI model, आपके according, AI model was not refusing the files, it was just giving an index to the officer.
Correct.
Decision तो officer ही ले रहा था.
Yes.
So there was always an officer backup.
Yeah.
To that.
And that is why I added that there was an intent to not scrutinize the applications on the way. They should have scrutinized, they should have given a deep eye to it. इसमें कि they would have known कि भाई इस बंदे के पास क्या है क्या नहीं है. So otherwise there's no way. They were so overburdened with the applications at one point of time, जहाँ पे कि if I lodge an application and it gets refused, you re-lodge it without changing a single material fact, it gets approved. So it means that the two visa officers making two different decisions on the same application, it's not the difference of training, because the training is pretty much, the same behind them. It's just that it's the intent. Yep. What exactly they want to do. And now if the intent has changed, the intent says that we want to get rid of all these people, that's how the policy is actually being put in place.
God. So ये जो AI tool है, इसका मकसद सिर्फ easy करना था processing को.
Yes.
लेकिन वो मार्केट में एडवर्टाइज और तरीका थोड़ा डिफरेंट गया. बट इसके अंदर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है, ये वन ऑफ द रिसर्च है बाय वन ऑफ माय टीम मेंबर. एक चिनॉक के अंदर अकॉर्डिंग टू देम इट वाज एन एरर, शायद अब सीख गया हो, ये एआई टूल है. इंडियन जो फार्मर बैकग्राउंड से आता है, उनकी जो आईटीए होती है, इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न, वो जीरो हो जाती है. कारण है क्योंकि दैट वाज एग्जम्प्टेड इनकम. करेक्ट. चाहे उनकी इनकम 50 लाख ही क्यों ना हो. चिनॉक सिस्टम वाज नॉट एबल टू रीड दैट होल आईटीए, और वो उसको रेड टिक में लेके जा रहा था दैट इस बंदे की कोई इनकम नहीं है.
Yes.
Is it true or was it one of the thing which is studied?
It is absolutely true. So देखो AI जो system है ना, AI is implemented pretty much everywhere. It's progressing way faster than you're expecting it to progress, right? So इसकी कुछ limitations भी हैं. You have to identify कि कहाँ पे ये fail होती हैं चीज़ें, कहाँ पे you can actually just maybe take an advantage of the system, right? And there's a huge possibility कि AI was not able to read that thing. It was not able to comprehend that कि farmers have a different source of income and there's a different way how to verify farmers' income instead of checking the ITRs.
Yeah.
Right. So system gets better with time, and I believe it could actually be true.
Yes. Okay. A bit lighten up question, but a question which is really, really, really needed. अगर आपके पास 10 मिनट हो with the immigration minister, what is the one thing you really want the change in the whole system, considering the fact that कनाडा की इमिग्रेशन की हिस्ट्री हमेशा एग्रेसिव से ड्रॉप डाउन पे गई है हर चीज़ में। पहले बहुत एग्रेसिव वीज़ास, फिर एकदम से ड्रॉप। बहुत एग्रेसिव AI सिस्टम 2021 which you just said, then drop down to a different scenario. आप क्या उनके साथ बात करना चाहेंगे that we need this to be fixed and that will become a bigger change?
If I actually get a chance to advise on something to immigration minister, so मेरा first priority जो है ना, it will always be don't let people shuffle around in terms of the occupation that much. And there's only one way to stop it. So कनाडा ने डिज़ाइन किया सिस्टम को वो इतना फ्लेक्सिबल, इतना ईजी है. It was actually designed for honest and truthful people. It wasn't designed for people, who knows how to take advantage of, systems really well. So, यहाँ पे, if you want to become a plumber today, and you want to become an electrician tomorrow, because electricians are actually in demand and plumbers are not in demand anymore, it is so easy to change your profession. It's a matter of just one day. From yesterday, you were a plumber, today you're an electrician. So,
ये पेपर्स में बात हुई है रियलिस्टिक?
in realistically भी it's not that hard, because देखो इसकी जो to become an electrician, a lot of provinces have a voluntary certificate requirement.
Okay.
You can be an electrician, anybody can be an electrician, or anybody can be a plumber. A lot of provinces would have a voluntary certification, and a lot of provinces may have a required certification in place. But what it actually portrays is, अगर आपको PR लेनी है तो tier 0, 1, 2, 3 ये जो है, ये 4 जो है, ये नॉक कोड्स बनते हैं, मतलब 4 जो है ये डिविजन्स बनती हैं, T0, 1, 2, 3. अब अगर आज फार्मेसी असिस्टेंट्स यहाँ पे हैं हेल्थ केयर में, और आपको अपने ऑक्यूपेशन को फ्रॉम आई वुड से ऑफिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन change करना to pharmacy assistant, it just takes you one day to change it, because or now you have gotten a job, right? And then now you're a pharmacy assistant, and government actually values you on that basis because you actually were able to secure a job, right? Australia has a very different approach to it. They have something called skill assessment.
Yep.
Which means that कि अगर आप आज एक specific occupation को target कर रहे हो, there is a body that actually is at the forefront. Before you reach the migration department, you have to deal with one body.
Okay.
Which is the skill assessment body of, it's for your respective occupation. So what it means is कि when I got my permanent residency in Australia, at that point of time, I used to, अभी भी वही है, Australian Computer Society, for example, right?
Okay.
So it actually evaluates your credentials. It tells you if you are actually fitting into that knock code, or if you're not fitting into the knock code.
Okay.
If you do not have the certificate from them, a skill assessment certificate from them, immigration department does not really consider you as a software engineer.
Okay.
Right? So you can't really tell them, hey, I'm a software engineer, here's my experience letter, and my employer says so, and for that reason, I'm a software engineer.
Okay.
You have to prove to that body first. You have to submit your experience letters. You have to submit your pay stubs, and they do their own diligence, right? So they do a very critical and very vigilant kind of checks on your application. That is how they determine that you're actually a software engineer, and that piece of paper actually puts you in the queue of software engineers. Canada does not have something like this. Canada has a very open-minded system. आज आप IT में हो, कल आप कंस्ट्रक्शन में हो, परसों आप हेल्थ केयर में हो, जितने मर्जी ऑक्यूपेशन चेंज कर लो. But if they put a gate in front of it, right? You're targeting the country knows that they're aiming for this kind of occupation, right? And they can force you for the next 2 years, 3 years. They have the data for that, right?
Yep.
In that situation, they know it that if they put a gatekeeper in front of it, and you're trying to target a healthcare position, you can't just switch around that quickly, because the whole strategy would have to make, you have to re-strategize the whole thing in order to change your occupation. Then you have to maybe get that kind of education, you have to get that kind of experience behind you, and then get the skill assessment. So it's not that easy for people to actually change their professions that quickly in Australia. And I guess that's a reason, the country is thriving in terms of immigration. They know how we want to intake people, and Canada does not really have that kind of system. So that is something I would definitely recommend, that have some kind of screening system that immigration, because that'll be easy for everybody. Immigration, IRCC kind of refuses application on the basis that we don't feel like you're a pharmacy assistant, or we don't feel like you're maybe an office admin, right? And for that reason we're refusing the application. They would not really have a chance to refuse the application if there's a body in front of them who has categorized them as a pharmacy technician.
Okay.
So IRCC can't deny.
So something like VES
Absolutely.
for skills.
VES has very less powers. VES is just
I know,
prudential
but,
evaluation.
I mean, something like that, which
Something.
assess.
Exactly. So which also assess the occupation, apart from just the education.
Very strong suggestion. That means, in clear words, your suggestion is to have a skill assessment
Yes.
in the system, so that whatever they are saying,
Yeah.
that last 2 साल से मैं plumbing कर रहा हूँ, शायद उसने नहीं भी करी होगी, but
Correct.
assessment होगी तो they will
Yeah.
count it. If not,
That is when you are qualified for that position.
got it. Coming to a question which is जो कनाडा में भी हैं और इंडिया में भी हैं, that is ghost consultant. दोनों साइड पर बहुत सारे हैं who are not even actually qualified enough, who don't even know कि सच में किसी को गाइड क्या करना है, but they are marketing themselves as if they know IRCC, बिना लाइसेंस के हैं, but still they are able to. IRCC की गाइडलाइंस के हिसाब से I don't think so someone is even allowed to market that we can get you a study permit, work permit, अगर उनके पास लाइसेंस नहीं है. बट बहुत सारे हैं. उनसे किस हिसाब से बचना है, क्या ऐसे टेक्निकल या ईजीएस्ट वे हैं? बहुत सारे लोगों को शायद ये नहीं पता कि वेबसाइट के ऊपर ओपन डाटा है, आप चेक कर सकते हो किस कंपनी का IRCC कौन है. शायद लोगों को नहीं पता.
That's right.
हम किस हिसाब से लोगों को गाइड करेंगे दैट बी सेफ फ्रॉम दीज काइंड ऑफ गोस्ट कंसल्टेंट्स?
देखो ये जो सिचुएशन है ना, IRCC is trying to deal with that from very long time. ठीक है, स्टार्टिंग में पंजाब में या फिर इंडिया में होता था कि भी किसी से 10 लाख रुपए ले लिए, 15 लाख ले लिए विजिटर वीज़ाज़ के. एक टाइम पे IRCC को न्यूज़पेपर के फ्रंट पेज पे ऐड डालनी पड़ गई थी, विजिटर वीज़ा ओनली टेक्स $100, राइट? सो IRCC ने पेड कैंपेन चलाया था just to create awareness कि this visa only takes the fees in India. The fees is only $100 for this. You don't have to pay that much. पर वो चीज़ ने सब कुछ रोका तो नहीं, राइट? क्योंकि जब तक लोग एक चीज़ के पीछे पागल हैं, राइट, तब तक उस चीज़ को लेके एक्सप्लॉयटेशन जो है वो होती ही रहेगी. अब आप सिर्फ इस पे लोगों को अवेयर कर सकते हो. जितने भी लोगों को ये कंटेंट जाएगा, जितने भी लोग इस चीज़ को देखेंगे, राइट, वो अपने जो सराउंडिंग्स हैं उन बंदों को एटलीस्ट अवेयर कर सकते हैं. With this is how you actually just make sure that whoever you're dealing with, they're licensed to actually practice immigration, they're licensed to apply for your application. क्योंकि इसके बहुत ज़्यादा ड्रॉबैक्स हैं. They have to understand कि इसके नुकसान क्या हो सकते हैं. अब IRCC एक वैसे स्टेज पे पहुंच गया जहाँ पे कि they want to do IP tracking, they want to see कि किस एप्लीकेशन की जो पेमेंट है वो किस क्रेडिट कार्ड से गई है. एंड व्हेन द डेटा मैचिंग कम्स इन, सो डेटा एनालिसिस इज एवरीथिंग फॉर IRCC. जब ये डेटा एनालाइज होता है एंड व्हेन दे सी कि इस स्पेसिफिक क्रेडिट कार्ड से हंड्रेड्स ऑफ एप्लीकेशंस की जो है वो फीस पे हो चुकी है, उस टाइम पे वो क्या देखते हैं? वो ये देखते हैं कि ओके लेट्स जस्ट सी कि एप्लीकेशंस में है रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कौन है. एंड सरप्राइजिंगली
अगर नहीं है,
जब आप किसी की एप्लीकेशन जब फाइल करते हो तो if you're not adding a representative form to it, it means you're a ghost consultant. That's the reason you're not adding to it. और अगर एक क्रेडिट कार्ड से 100 एप्लीकेशंस की फीस पे हुई है एंड उसमें कोई रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं लगा है, इट मीन्स कि आपने किसी न किसी की हेल्प ली है but you have not disclosed it.
Yep.
So IRCC finds that pattern. They send the letters to people. It's called procedural fairness, PFL letters. और उसमें they ask them कि भाई we have this opinion that you have taken somebody's help to file the application
Yeah.
and you have not disclosed in the application. The onus is on you कि आप इसको disclose करो और हमें बताओ. And if you have found that you've hid that information, with your own choice, तो फिर then there could be a ban of 5 years. And this is how people face the consequences. And no, I see a lot of people कि भाई अब second जो interesting बात है कि वो उनको बताते भी नहीं कि इनके refusal आ गया, इन पे ban लग गया, right? ये उस consultants हैं. तो इनको जो identify करने का तरीका है ना, तो वो ये है कि जो भी बंदा जिस भी कंपनी से आप डील कर रहे हो, आप उस कंपनी का नाम भी रजिस्ट्री पे सर्च कर सकते हो.
वेबसाइट का क्या नाम है? IRCC रजिस्ट्री.
So it's called CICC. Just type CICC find a consultant.
Find a consultant.
That way.
Okay.
CICC find a consultant. It's called college, right? So college है, so it's a college of immigration and citizenship, right? तो उस पे if you just type on Google CICC find a consultant, that's the first link there. उस पे click करो, find the consultant पे जाके अपना जो कंपनी का नाम भरो या ask that company कि आपका representative जो है, जो इस यहाँ पे license holder है, इसका नाम क्या है? Put their name as well in that search.
You
And
can match.
Click the yes, exactly. So if there's nothing there, it means you're dealing with somebody who does not really have the license. So that is how you can actually identify who you're dealing with.
क्या क्या ये भी पता लगाया जा सकता है जिस IRCC में फाइल लगवा रहा हूँ, जिस IRCC मेंबर से, इसके ऊपर पुराना कोई इन्वेस्टिगेशन या कुछ और चल रहा है?
पहले ये चीज़ नहीं होती थी बट अब होती है. So CICC जो कि इस प्रोफेशन का रेगुलेटर है, उन्होंने they have decided to just play the game with the with huge transparency. And उन्होंने फिर अपनी वेबसाइट पे डाला हुआ है कि if there's an action against somebody, then you'd be able to see. Yeah, but there was a penalty or something like that. So you can actually see that.
That is also on website and they can find.
Everything, it's a public information. It should be public information.
Okay. And that is something I think everyone should check before
Correct.
filing with anyone or giving your file to someone.
Absolutely.
यार एक्चुअल में IRCC है भी कि नहीं.
Correct.
एंड नंबर 2, जिससे मैं फाइल लगवा रहा हूँ इसकी पुराने इतिहास में कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं है जो ये मुझे अब सेल कर रहा है.
Yeah.
और सेम ही माइट बी फ्रॉड.
Yes.
That
Correct.
case. Okay. Coming down to comparison between international students and the domestic student fees. International student pays $36,000 for any given program, and at the very same time, I guess any domestic student only pays $10,000. No more than that. And why that difference? Government funded है वो एक चीज है, that is their rights with their citizens. But fees में difference, ये तो कनाडा की गवर्नमेंट का फर्स्ट एक्सप्लॉयटेशन उन्होंने खुद शुरू किया, and that is which has been taken away by private colleges. उसी का एडवांटेज उठाया था उन्होंने.
Exactly. देखो जो ये difference है ना, it's the reason behind this is subsidies.
Okay.
Right. So subsidy का मतलब ये है कि we have to understand how the education system works. So ये जो सारे बड़े colleges हैं, right, universities हैं, they offer courses for both domestic and international students.
Yes.
Now, the government actually puts a lot of stress that the citizens and permanent residents, they should have access to affordable and easy education, right? So affordable education के लिए either the government itself fund all the universities, right? Or they have to be creative about it. So whenever, if you're an international student and you pay the government $36,000, it offsets the amount of maybe 2 domestic students and they have to pay less. So universities actually get more money from international students and they subsidize the education for domestic students, right? They provide actually, cheap education to domestic students, you can say, just with the help of that money that they've accumulated from international students, right? The government is not really helping out. But if, let's say there's a shortfall, so, a university is not able to meet the expenses and there's a shortfall of about maybe, let's say $1 million. That is when the government just comes and then, pay the money to the institutions for that reason that, keep the the education subsidized for citizens and permanent residents so that they had the access.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Comparing the Indian student visas refusals also, it was 81% this year. जितने भी visas मिले भी हैं, that was mostly for masters or full 3 years or 4 years of graduation.
Correct.
उनको ज़्यादा grant हुए हैं, comparing it to last 2-3 years. Also, given a fact, financial proof भी इस साल बहुत ज़्यादा मांगे गए. बहुत सारी रिफ्यूजल सिर्फ इसलिए थी कि फाइनेंशियली यू कैन नॉट अफोर्ड टू स्टडी इन कनाडा, या फिर योर टाइज टू योर होम कंट्रीज आर अ लॉट व्हिच यू हैव अ क्लियर इंटेंट दैट यू विल नॉट गो बैक.
Yeah.
व्हाट इज एक्चुअल फिगर्स, मतलब व्हाट इज बिहाइंड दीज नंबर्स?
देखो, behind this number is a very clear-cut intention to, refuse the applications, right? जब भी IRCC application refuse करते हैं ना, उनका एक assessment का criteria है कि ओके, अगर आप temporary visa अप्लाई कर रहे हो, विल चेक. अगर आप स्टडी परमिट अप्लाई कर रहे हो, आपकी क्या कनेक्शन बनता है प्रीवियस स्टडी और फ्यूचर स्टडीज़ में, आपकी अफोर्डेबिलिटी क्या है, आपके टाइज क्या हैं, राइट? सो ये 4-5 फैक्टर्स जो होते हैं वो कि एक टेम्प्रेरी एप्लीकेशन की असेसमेंट के पॉइंट्स होते हैं. सिमिलरली अगर आप LMI विस परमिट अप्लाई कर रहे हो तो उसमें ये देखते हैं कि आप जो जॉब के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हो, वुड यू बी एबल टू डू द जॉब ड्यूटीज फॉर दैट एप्लीकेशन और फॉर दैट पोजीशन, राइट? तो जो उनके असेसमेंट क्राइटेरियाज है उसके हिसाब से ही सारा कुछ चलते हैं. 4 असेसमेंट क्राइटेरियाज में से अगर 3 असेसमेंट क्राइटेरिया ऐसे हैं इनके कि जहाँ पे कि दे कैन नॉट रिफ्यूज द एप्लीकेशन, द एप्लीकेंट हैज़ very good merit to go to for the judicial review and win the case. There's only one thing that they use जहाँ पे कि इनके पास power है, वो है discretionary power, that you don't have significant ties back to your home country and you would not go back. अब इसका जो तोड़ है वो हर एक JR के पास नहीं है. अगर आप JR करते भी हो एप्लीकेशन का, जुडिशियल रिव्यू में चले भी जाते हो, तभी भी जो जुडिशियल सिस्टम है वो इसको एक ग्रे एरिया की तरह देखता है. इट्स नॉट अ ब्लैक एंड वाइट सिचुएशन.
यस.
सो दैट्स व्हाई IRCC जो है वो हर एक एप्लीकेशन जब वो रिफ्यूज़ करती है उसमें ये एक स्पेसिफिकली डाल देती है, आई बिलीव यू वुड नॉट गो बैक टू योर कंट्री.
ओके.
क्योंकि इसका ये आपका ओपिनियन है. एज एन ऑफिसर आपने ओपिनियन बना लिया है तो उस पर आप चाहे उनको जो मर्जी दिखा दो, इट्स नेवर गोइंग टू चेंज, राइट? सो यू हैव टू change it with a strategy. So ये जो refusal है इसके पीछे clear cut intention है कि we do not really want the students right now.
Okay.
They can't stop people from applying for a student visa, but they can definitely stop people from entering the country.
Okay.
And the only way to stop them is not to give them the visa.
पर ये इंडियंस में क्यों था 81%? Chinese student was only 30% refusal.
That we have to go back to the same part ki jahan pe we'll say there's a very proven kind of hatred against, I guess, Indian community. So Indian community is actually seen as the main reason of all the public nuisance. So isi wajah se maybe they just don't want. Secondly, if you observe this immigration space very closely, they were planning to implement ki per country quota introduce karenge.
Okay.
Which means that they do not really want everybody from just one country. The source has to be from different countries, right?
Yeah.
So they want ki okay, we also want Chinese people coming here. We also want the whole Asia applying, maybe a lot of people from European countries. But badkismati inki ye hai ki this country is very popular amongst Indian people.
Yeah.
And they're not really a favorite destination to the rest of the world because of a lot of circumstances, a lot of conditions like weather ho gaya, the quality of life, right? So people prefer other countries over Canada.
Yeah.
Other nationalities apart from Indian nationality.
Okay. Now comparing the two nations you have lived in, Australia and Canada, on the basis of immigration sector only, we are talking about here. Australia के बहुत सारे rules हैं which is being copied and pasted in Canada. One of that is PAL letters, which we foresee not 100% accurately copied, but Australia में ये system काफ़ी सालों से है that हर college को एक allocated seat मिलती है. उतनी seats पर ही they are able to issue the LOAs and get the students. और यहाँ पर भी उन्होंने इंटरनेशनल स्टूडेंट के साथ सेम किया, नॉट फॉर डोमेस्टिक। ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अंदर एज रिस्ट्रिक्शन है 45 फॉर सम मोस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स, और यहाँ पर वो नहीं है। करेक्ट। उस चीज़ का कनाडा पर कितना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट है, स्पेशली फॉर द एज क्राइटेरिया?
सो अगर आप एज क्राइटेरिया की बात करते हो, देखो, थिंक लाइक यू आर द गवर्नमेंट, ओके? आपके पास एक बजट है टू सपोर्ट योर पॉपुलेशन, राइट? अब उनमें उसी बजट में आपने उनको हेल्थ सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करनी है, उसी बजट में आपने उनको बाकी जो अमेनिटीज प्रोवाइड करनी है, एंड यू ऑल्सो you're promising them the pension, which is CPP, Canada Pension Plan, right? अब अगर आप बात करते हो bringing in people that are above 45, right? Australia is very smart in this. They know that if we let people in after 45, मान के चलो, if somebody is at the age of 50 and they're migrating to Canada, now imagine for how long they will be in the workforce.
Yeah.
Number one factor, which is, max is what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Right? And after 50, a lot of health issues start. So, which means that even if they're contributing towards their pension, they're still offsetting a lot of that amount towards, the money being spent on their health.
Yeah.
Right? And whatever reasons, right? So, and usually, people above 50, they have the kids.
Yeah.
They have a lot of dependents. So it's just not one applicant coming. There are actually multiple people coming with one application.
Yeah.
So ये सब चीज का है impact, वो huge है on the government resources.
Yep.
And for that reason, it is not actually in the nation's interest कि आप inviting too old people.
Yep.
And that also through economic migration. So economic migration should actually be, a safe spot for people who are actually well in their maybe 20s, 30s, 40s, right?
Yeah.
But for people above 50s, it doesn't really make sense,
Yeah.
But IRCC has only implemented, again, they tried to implement things very softly.
Yeah.
They only said one thing, that, okay, अगर आप above 45 हो, no points for you.
Yeah.
You can still apply. अगर आप enough points हैं आपके पास, apply करो, आ जाओ. But 45 के ऊपर points नहीं है. और ऑस्ट्रेलिया कहता है कि 45 से ऊपर हो, you do not qualify for skill immigration.
Yes.
So which is, a clear cut no.
No for permanent.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. एक genuine student है, आपके पास आता है that I want to study this. Goal is study. Intent is not wrong. The goal is study. आप उसको कौन सी कंट्री रेकमेंड करोगे? Go to Australia or Canada? If given just two options.
It depends on the goal. So, having experience, from both the countries, if somebody actually has a drive and, they want to become a business owner, for example, eventually, right? Maybe I won't recommend Australia to them. It is not really a country where you can just, operate a business, in a way that you can operate in Canada.
Okay.
But if somebody just wants to study, the merit has to, I'd say, for study purpose only, जो इसका decision taking process है, it should be based solely on two things, right? Number one is the environment, if they're comfortable with the weather, right?
Yeah.
Or not. Number two is the analysis of what they want to study and which university offers the best course for that.
Okay.
For example, universities, अगर आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया की बात करते हो, they have the top 8s, right? So उनकी there's a huge list of universities जो कि उनकी top 100 में बहुत सारी universities ऑस्ट्रेलिया की आती हैं from the whole world. When you talk about Canada, they're trying to catch up again, right? And it's really, really hard to get into a good university in Canada.
Yep.
But Australia, if you're a genuine student and you want to study a good course, we have a lot of opportunities. And, I guess our bid office in Australia is very close to my heart. Or, I'll be very biased here. I'll be very biased answering that question.
Got it. एक और सेम उसी जगह पर एक और स्टूडेंट आपके पास आता है. He's a 28 years old, इंजीनियरिंग कर चुके हैं, 5 साल का इंडिया में एक्सपीरियंस है. आयल्स में ही कैन स्कोर 9. कौन सी कंट्री रेकमेंड करोगे? इंजीनियर्स, ऑस्ट्रेलिया?
For an engineer, so I'm pretty sure for an engineer there'll be a job profile kind of person. So I would say if you want a huge work-life balance,
Yeah.
Australia is the nation for you. If you want to work, if you want to be in the job, and then still have a very decent lifestyle, go for Australia. If you want to become a business owner, if you want to maybe just do more of an entrepreneurship, Canada is absolutely the place for you.
Okay. Very, very two ways answer, but yes, considered. But दोनों countries में एक चीज है which is being very common. Both are cutting down their immigration. Is it a global impact or just few factors on these two countries from single country?
So Australia is actually not cutting down the immigration. Australia has a very unique way of running the immigration system. They whenever they feel like the economy is not able to meet the demand, right, and they have a deficit of money coming in, or maybe it could be the universities getting crippled because of less students coming in, they open the gates. And they're very smart, right? So they will open the gates, they'll keep it open for a very limited time. And that is the opportunity window. Every immigration person who's in the industry, they would be able to relate to that thing. There's a very limited window where you can take that opportunity, and then you can get the approvals.
Yep.
And after that, the best of the best profiles sometimes get the refusal from Australia. When they know that the bucket is full,
There's nothing.
they just don't believe in overloading the system.
Okay.
And they're very smart, pressing their brakes right at the time when they know that it should be pressed.
Okay. But Canada is cutting down.
Canada is definitely cutting down. So Canada is trying to find, I guess they're trying to learn, from Australia, and then see, when to hit the brakes, when not to hit the brakes. They're slamming the brakes right now.
Correct. Okay. Coming to the last two segments, बहुत simple question है. Almost 1.5 लाख से ज़्यादा एजुकेशनल कंसल्टेंट्स आ चुके थे इंडिया में. ये बिजनेस, ये इंडस्ट्री बहुत बड़ी हो चुकी थी. Every day you used to see new consultants coming into the market. Yeah. But drastic change है in terms of visa approval, चाहे वो किसी भी country के हो, from India.
Correct.
Canada 81% only. क्या changes आ चुके हैं इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर? क्या मतलब it is end of an era for immigration agents to set in India and work, or there is something new?
देखो, immigration industry जो है ना, ये it's I'd consider this as a very noble profession, right? अगर आप किसी क्या कुछ अच्छा करना चाहते हो, you have a lot of opportunities, right? And you'll be remembered for the whole life of your client, right? Either in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
Right. So immigration जो पीछे जिस हिसाब से चीज़ें चली हैं, it was floodgates for Canada. तो बहुत सारे ऐसे लोग भी आ गए इस इंडस्ट्री में जो कि जिनको आइडिया भी नहीं था कि क्या एप्लीकेशन फाइल कैसे करते हैं, ये इंडस्ट्री कैसे काम करती है. देख के लोगों को एक भेड़ चाल कि हाँ भी अच्छा, ये इंडस्ट्री अच्छी है, उसने पैसे बना लिया, आई शुड एक्चुअली बी इन दिस इंडस्ट्री, राइट?
ओके.
सो दे ओपन द ऑफिसेज, हर बंदा एक ही चीज़ बोल रहा है, हमसे वीज़ा लगवा लो, हमसे वीज़ा लगवा लो. जब टफ टाइम्स आते हैं ना, ओनली अ फ्यू कंपनीज आर एक्चुअली एबल टू सर्वाइव. I would not name them in India as well. They're still surviving, and they're still operating. But 90% of जो new entrants थे, वो vanish हो चुके हैं. Because nobody knew them, right? It was the bucket was overflowing at that time, and everybody got their drip. And now that it's a very limited amount of people. So जो बहुत ही time से industry में टिके हुए हैं, वो the trusted names of the industry, they're still getting the work. It's not that they're closing, they're shutting down the offices. They're not shutting down the offices. The quantity may be less, but they are still in the business.
Okay.
Yeah, it's exactly like आप ये लगा लो कि कनाडा में recently कितने लोगों ने real estate का license लिया, right? The property was real estate market actually it was on the peak. Everybody wants to have their piece of the cake, right? So उस time पे everyone मैं जितने भी लोगों को जानता हूँ, हर एक बंदे ने एक बार डेफिनेटली मेंशन किया हो कि हाँ भी I want to get the real estate.
100%.
I want to try my luck on this, I want to see how it works. So अब वो सारे जो बंदों ने लाइसेंस लिया है रियल्टर, उनमें से कितने बंदे हैं जो इस टाइम पे काम कर रहे हैं? अब जो पिछले 15 साल से कर रहे थे वो आज भी वही हैं, और जो पिछले सिर्फ 1.5 साल में आए थे वो
Super.
in and out, right? So basically it was a quick turnover. So I would say नहीं, हाँ, जो बंदे बहुत पुराने टेके हैं, they know how the industry works, right? They have been able to survive this crisis. But if for somebody, for a newbie, it is not a normal crisis, and then that's gonna put them off, forever.
Okay. Being really honest to our Indian listeners,
Mhm.
majorly. If someone comes today to your Chandigarh office, walks in today and asks that I want to study in Canada,
Mhm.
eventual goal is PR,
Yeah.
that I want to get permanent residency. What are the realistic odds कि उसको permanent residency actual में मिलेंगे? और ऐसी क्या चीज़ है जो अभी आप उसको टिप देना चाहोगे कि यार if you have done these 3-4 things, then there is a realistic odd that you will get permanent residence.
Therefore, for somebody after 12th grade, they want to come to Canada right now, I would I would strongly oppose them to study a diploma course.
Okay.
Right? There's a very clear-cut indication from government. You become what they want you to become, so that they're able to give you permanent residency.
Okay.
So my suggestion to them is only 3 things. Number 1 is do not rush it, right? If you can get your bachelor's in India, go for it, right? It's an affordable way to get bachelor's degree.
Yep.
You learn life, when you're in the early 90s.
More
you
exposure.
just- yeah, exactly. When you're just 19 years old, you hardly know how life is, what exactly life is. So you learn life in India while, you're just living with the parents there. And you work on your skills.
Yeah.
And by skills, I mean, you should also work on your English skills, on your communication skills, on overall skills.
Yeah.
And try to get some kind of work exposure as well, because nobody's stopping you to gain full-time experience in India while you're studying as well,
Yes.
which kind of, gives you point eventually, right?
Hmm.
But if you are very adamant you want to come right after your 12th grade, I would suggest them to go for very selective kind of courses. And never go for a diploma course. Go
Yeah.
for at least a bachelor's course. Let's say, a bachelor's of science in nursing, right?
Bachelor's in
Exactly. So you become an RN after that, a registered nurse, or even a matter of fact, you do, if you do a licensed practical nursing course, which is again a diploma, not a degree.
Yeah.
There are multiple options to get PR with that course.
Yeah.
So the course selection is very crucial now. Gone are the days when you were just coming to study just a generic arts or maybe business diploma. You can't really get your permanent residency with that anymore.
Okay.
So that is one thing. So be very, very, I'd say, selective about your course. Don't just go for a very generic one. Okay. And second thing is, if you have to work on a skill, work on your communication skills, because that's something that's going to maybe, help you with the job, give you exposure, and eventually you'll get the required band score.
Got it. Okay. So realistic odd is, if I brief it up, do your graduation, have some work experience, there is more than 60% chance you will end up having permanent.
I'd say more than 80%
More-
chances.
80%,
But if you pick the right course, work on your language skills, right? There are there's more than 90% chance that you will end up getting permanent residency. But follow the process. Do not really just try to bypass any steps of the process.
Got it.
कि लोगों को जल्दी है कि बस मुझे जल्दी पहुंचा दो,
पक्का करा दो।
जल्दी पहुंचा दो, जल्दी PR दिलवा दो. ये जल्दी वाले जो सीन है ना, उसमें if you miss any part of the process, मैंने बहुत लोगों को देखा यहाँ पे citizen, यहाँ पे as a student आके कभी वर्क परमिट में चेंज कर लिया, कभी कुछ कर लिया. So you don't have a clear cut vision, right? Or you don't have a clear cut intent कि मैंने इस कोर्स को कंप्लीट करना है, right? और सिर्फ हमने PR को माइलस्टोन बना लिया लाइफ का, और लाइफ फील्स वेरी एम्प्टी वंस यू हैव PR.
ठीक, अब क्या करना है?
लाइफ में उसके अलावा कोई गोल था ही नहीं,
था।
और जब वो मिल गया है तो अब लाइफ का पर्पस समझ नहीं आ रहा है, एंड दैट इज लीडिंग टू डिप्रेशन these days.
Yes. Okay. Going to the last segment where we will cover a lot of small questions, but you'll need a lot of answers from you. Our rapid fire. Weirdest case you have ever encountered in your life so far? in
Weirdest case is a husband and wife separating, husband going in a relationship with the sister-in-law, getting the PR, and then separating with their common law, going back to the wife.
ओके, तो पहले सिस्टर इन लॉ से शादी की, साली से शादी की,
हाँ.
PR ले ली, डिवोर्स लिया, back to Dubai.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. Fastest approval you have ever seen in your life so far for permanent residence?
18 days. That's myself.
18 days. Oh, अच्छा वो भी आपकी.
I got my
Back-
PR in 18
that-
days back in Australia. Yes, it was 18 days. Exactly 18 days.
Interesting. And slowest?
Slowest, it's still going.
Still going?
Yeah.
2 years, 1 year?
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
One immigration myth which can change a lot of things. One you just said too, वैसे तो,
Hmm.
that LMI will get you PR.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I'll stick to that. LMA will get
You
PR.
stick to that. Okay. If आप इस टाइम पे इमिग्रेशन कंसल्टेंट ना होते इसकी जगह क्या कर रहे होते?
I would
Other
actually
profession.
be in any service industry based profession, which is more of a problem solving profession.
Okay.
Because that is what I like. So become a problem solver.
Most underrated pathway to Canadian PR, which people don't really talk about.
Business immigration.
Okay. इसके लिए तो मुझे लगता है we need another podcast. Business immigration is something which is very, very vast and need to understand. Okay. You might be getting a lot of desperate calls from people. One question you wish you could stop people asking to you or to any other agent. Right? Stop asking this. This is nonsense.
Paji tier to peer ka hoga.
Okay.
I'll see what she's.
Okay, last but not the least, it's about how you have adapted the Canadian culture. Do you like pineapple on your pizza or no?
No, actually, pineapple on pizza is actually an Australian thing too. So it was easy for me to adapt it.
Be adapted in.
I
Um,
embraced it.
Okay, that's nice. So you are very much Canadian now, I'll say.
Yeah, you can call that.
And thank you so much, Chef, for this conversation. Because this might help a lot of people really understand what should be their direction to move in.
Correct. Yes. It was my pleasure to be in your podcast. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. सबसे पहले तो the people who have watching this podcast, I would request you कि हमारे चैनल को प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कर लें. अगर आपकी लाइफ में कुछ भी चेंज ला पा रहे हैं हम और ये कॉन्वर्जेशन ने अगर आपकी आंखें खोली हैं फॉर समथिंग विच इज़ परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी और फ्रॉड्स हैपनिंग इन कनाडा, तो ये उनके साथ भी शेयर करें जिनका ड्रीम है कनाडा के अंदर परमानेंट रेजिडेंसी लेना. और तब तक के लिए सब्सक्राइब कर लें, शेयर कर लें और चाय ज़रूर गर्म रखिएगा.